my name's Kath and I'm the Creative Director for Conservation Without Borders. This is my boss Sacha and she is the CEO of Conservation Without Borders, otherwise known as the UN Ambassador for the Convention on Migratory Species, or more dramatically, the human swan, which she was named after she flew from Russia back to the UK, tracking the migration of Buick swans. Next up was the Round Britain Climate Challenge, with Sacha flying around the UK to highlight climate solutions. But days before the end of that expedition, in a freak accident, she fell 150 feet. And while she broke a lot of bones from her jaw down, she somehow survived. Despite many operations to put her back together and 6 months in hospital, she was determined not to let injuries deter her from our mission. So against the odds, in 2022, she set off with a team to follow the osprey migration from the UK to Africa, living out of vehicles and tents. She set off in a wheelchair and came back walking. And with amazing results and stories to share. In this vlog, we will share some of those stories and take you behind the scenes of life of Conservation Without Borders.
Been a pretty spectacular afternoon watching them.
As we go, and the incredible people we meet along the way. While Sacha provides updates on our mission, her recovery, and showcases life on the road, I have spent most of my time in Zambia trying to work with 5 cats and wildlife that also doesn't see borders. Also, hopefully I'll be able to showcase some of Africa's incredible places and people. In this vlog, we'll be following Sacha as she continues her physiotherapy with her new legs. They promised her that she's going to be able to run. Will she manage it? Just have to watch and find out. And make sure that you watch to the end when we'll see Sacha as she shares an incredible moment with a huge flock of snow geese.
I've just accomplished my first mission with the exosomes. They are on and I've been to the shops and somehow, I don't know how, considering I'm wearing 2 quite large black things on my legs, I managed to walk around without anybody staring at my legs. Maybe it's because I'm so used to people staring at me because I walk funny without the exosomes on and very laboured, and actually now they look a lot less. Yeah, success, I think.
You've done really amazing. I mean, I already thought you were doing amazing with your walking.
You're obliged to say that though. No, you're not actually. No, you're not.
And I mean, this is day 3. You wore the devices 2 minutes yesterday, the molds.
Yeah.
Walked up and down a couple of times. Today you have been wearing them for what? Almost an hour now? And you already exhausted yourself exercising in them. I think you're doing so amazing. So amazing.
I guess that's it then. I'm doing amazing. I also want to be going around going, look, no hands. There's railings and I don't need to hold on to them. It's quite something, the simple things you start to appreciate. One of the major fears I have is that the day that he modelled my legs, my legs swell every day. Basically, they swell differently, the 2 of them, because in the accident, both of them were pretty much detached, and so all the lymph tubes, the lymph network in my lower legs was destroyed, and that's the transport mechanism for fluid that gets down to your feet to end back up in your legs, and that is slowly regrowing, but my legs still swell. And when he molded them, were they at their biggest? Certainly when I tried the mocks yesterday, they were slightly bigger than my actual legs, and he did say that they could, you know, there's some option on the carbon fiber versions to heat them and melt them, but will they fit me now? Will they fit me tomorrow? Anyway, now that I'm saying it, it seems like all things that they're used to solving. But in the night, especially when I'm dreaming about running and being active all the time and so hard that it's waking me up. When you wake up in the middle of the night with these small doubts, they feel bigger than they probably are. But yeah, just sharing the crazy place that is the inside of my head at the moment.
I've just had my legs adjusted. Fingers crossed. Oh, they work all right now. Oh my gosh. So the agility stuff was, I think, if you'd asked me to imagine what I could do before doing it, was much worse than what I could do. But once I was standing there going, oh, actually this looks all right, I could, remember what I could do on normal legs. I, had a couple of wobbles, realizing all the things you actually have to do differently when you can't move your feet. But, I don't know, it's a start. Balance is still is obviously going to be an issue. Balance in these things is, you're incredibly stable when you're standing in them, so stable you can lean in different directions and essentially lean on them, which is a weird feeling, that you can kind of lean on yourself.
So today's the day that I'm actually, hopefully, going to try running for the first time. It's an early start, but even more excitingly, we have woken up to snow, which is exciting, looks cool, but we're also about to set off for a few days out camping. So who knows how that's going to go.
Oh, I don't really have the bounce. Oh my God, have I?
Here's the warm hug. It was really good.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do today, Sacha?
Today was my first attempt at running. And I say attempt because, it looks pretty funny, let's be honest. But it was the closest I've come to running in 2 and a bit years. And it was the most I've been able to. It was basically being able to do exercise, try and use a lot of power in a very different body, a bigger body that also wobbles, but I got high-fived for it, so I guess that's a win. What else can I say about it? It was, I guess, at the moment it doesn't feel like ordinary running, but it does feel like exertion. I got a bit of wind in my hair, and I reckon I could escape a cougar or a bear if we see them in the forest, which is where we're going now. So yeah, some wins. I kind of had a vision of being able to stand up there and then be able to bound along on my bending carbon exosyms, and then you are hit every time with the reality of, oh no, I have got very little muscle strength under that, and my body's really not used to this. And all those things you have to manage. So rationally, I know I should be really happy with what we did today. The dreamer in me is really hoping for a lot more in the next few months. So yeah, fingers crossed. That's what's going to keep me. That's what's going to keep me going, I suppose. So we did manage to find the snow geese. I'm not sure if you can see there. There are multiple thousands of snow geese in the background there. And whilst that is incredible, they have been lifting up regularly because behind the snow geese there's about 7 eagles, juveniles and adults, bald eagles that is. They've obviously been hunting one, so they've been pulling apart one of the geese. The really incredible thing was that we saw them from a distance away, a different road, and was like, let's just take a detour to try and see if we can find them, get a tiny bit closer. And the amazing thing now is that rather than just sit in the car, I managed to, without really thinking much about it, get out of the car, grab my camera and hide behind a bank. Oh my gosh. And because I'm crouched down like this, they're not really seeing that I am a threat, so they have just come and landed nearby. I mean, totally spectacular here, but I have a feeling the locals perhaps don't appreciate it in the same way, because I think this might be quite a common sight. But for me, absolutely beautiful. What an experience, my first ever huge flocks of snow geese. Actually, I think I might have been wrong about the locals not necessarily appreciating this kind of sight anymore, because what you see is a string of people stopping to observe them. It looks a bit like when there's big waves of surf off Sydney. That's kind of like people's appreciation of nature. Everyone on the way to work, but lots of people stop anyway to sit or stand at the edge of the water, arms crossed, and just stare at how epic nature is. And I have a feeling here the locals might do something similar with these sort of sites. What's also great to see, although not surprising I suppose, is that you can see there's arable fields, also slightly wet and soft, perfect feeding grounds on that side, and arable fields also on that side of the road. So there's a reasonable chance you'll have birds flying low between the two, particularly in winter. And if you see behind me, what's great to see is that all of the power lines that run along this road have got diverters on them.
And while Sacha has been on the move with her new legs, I have also been on a move as I moved from Lusaka to Livingstone, which is the tourist capital of Zambia. It was quite a stressful journey as I was travelling with 4 cats by road, which took over 7 hours. One of them actually managed to escape from the cat cage, and as we were hurtling down the roads, I suddenly felt something brush against my leg and realised that we had an escape artist. There was nowhere to pull over, and he was jumping all over the place, jumping on the driver's shoulder, on his head, all around the car. It was very stressful, but we eventually managed to get him back in his cage, and the rest of the journey was uneventful. However, upon arrival, once I opened the cages up to let them free, one of them decided to show his displeasure by pooping all over himself and the crate, and then walking over my new bed. So quite a dramatic start to the day. Now I've moved to a farm in Livingstone, which is also home to the Zambezi Working Donkey Project. Donkeys are often used in Zambia for farming and transportation, and it can be a pretty harsh life, and this organisation aims to improve donkeys' lives by educating people in care, plus training to make harnesses, carts and ploughs to be more suitable for the donkeys. Unfortunately, sometimes the donkeys are just too injured or sick, and so they come to this rescue centre to be nursed back to health or to find a permanent retirement home. Stay tuned for future vlogs where I will be interviewing the vet and head carer about their work and meeting some of these donkeys. We hope you enjoyed the vlog. Please do like and subscribe to make sure you can keep up to date with all the followings of Conservation Without Borders.